Good morning, my Odysseyers. Yes, the nail is now in the coffin and it's going down for real. If you think I was kidding, back in late 2020, when I kept saying they're going to have to raise interest rate to hedge against inflation, the amount of money laundering brought into the Western world via China through fentanyl profit sales and blah blah blah, and shadow flipping and all kinds of crap. Go back to other videos on the channel so you can get caught up. Been saying this for 10 years. I was given a very good wake up call this morning from a listener that knows all the callers in on all the shows and knows them by name and knows what they're up to and what they talk about. So there's a lot of good people out there listening to what we have to say. And the wake up call basically was letting me know that you've been calling this out for 10 years. And that Poilievre guy or people in Ottawa are trying to freaking out about housing or what's going on. I don't know why they got the memo now. Why they're realizing that we've sold out to the highest bidders. Why the blue states are a good example if you're living in America. Look at your blue states. You guys were into heavy money laundering and buying entire condo towers and leaving them empty to Chinese foreign investors. Now BlackRock is on your tail now there. Blackstone or whatever they're called. They're now on your tail. And then you got this whole huge housing problem in Evergrande there in China. Well, what's happening in Canada? Well, Canada's going to have to take measures. Bank of Canada will raise rates by 500% this year to start within weeks. There you go. I said it by before the end of Q1, they're going to have to raise interest rates. They're going to have to raise interest rates. Canada's central bank is about to take away the punch bowl real estate has been binging on for the past few years. Try 10 years. Has forecast interest rates will raise over the next few weeks to combat inflation. Canada's freshly lowered natural rate means this will top out fairly fast, though. This is from Better Dwelling, by the way, and it was written by... There's probably at the bottom there. Canadians should expect interest rates to raise 500% this year. National Bank sees interest rates doing a steep climb this year, and they expect it to start within weeks. In the first quarter, Bank of Canada, BOC, forecasts to rise rates by 25 basis points. This would bring the overnight rate to 0.5%, double the current level. The total bank have forecast interest rate hikes in 2022. By the end of this year, the overnight rate should be 1.50. That's 500% higher than the current level. So expect this to dampen inflation, among other things. Now, here's the problem with this. Obviously, people are going to start defaulting on their mortgages. It's the Canadian proper. The Canadian proper with the banks that underwritten the deals, they don't qualify. And they know these people don't qualify for these mortgages, but they're helping them out. Lots of Canadians. Now, here's another problem. In Australia, they've raised interest rates, and they're continuously going to continue to raise interest rates. Now, here's the problem with that. The bank account isn't offering you the same interest rate that they should be on your savings. They're actually lowering that and raising the interest rates on people that owe money. So if you have money saving and you back in the day, it would be, let's say, 3% interest on your bank account, 4.5% interest on your bank account, save your money, and you got paid. You had $1 million. You made $45,000 a year. Just in interest on $1 million on 4.5%. But in Australia, they're doing the opposite. Your savings accounts, interest rates are going to go down. They might go to negative. They might see negative interest rates here in Canada to keep up with the inflation. So there it is. Canada interest rates to top out fairly fast. The Canadian interest rates forecast to rise next year, but heavy lifting will be done. The Bank of Canada forecast 25 basis points in Q2 2023, pushing the overnight rate to 1.75%. No change is expected for the remainder of the next year or the year after. Bank of Canada's lowered neutral rate means the next recession won't be so kind. Again, we've been talking about this for 10 years on this channel. Look, we have almost 5,000 videos, and 2,000 of them are dedicated to the robbing of the middle class. The wealth being stolen from us, right? Now, here's the problem with this. A lot of people are saying, oh, that's just a small increase in interest rate hike. Mike, what are you talking about? That's not going to put a lot of people in the water. Yes, it will. Because 3 years ago, back in 2017, back in 2017, they slightly raised rates. and a lot of people were defaulting, and they had to bring it back down. Now the Canadian proper is going to get a rude awakening on how things work when it comes to financials, and when layered money or just laundered money just drops into an economy that can't handle it. It's like that metaphor I said, how people, it's like taking salt water from the ocean and pouring it into a clean, fresh lake water. After that, a while, that lake will die, and everything in that lake will die. It will succumb. The lake will get more water, yes, but everything in it will die. And that's what's happening with the money laundering and money being dropped into Canada. It's been happening for 10 years. Now, the hottest housing market in Canada was in 2020. Why? Because Canada was competing with Australia, New Zealand, and the UK for Hong Kongers. Canada got roughly $46 billion was counted for from Hong Kong, and that's what they know of. And they're saying about $250 billion came in from Hong Kong in 2020, making Canada's housing market the highest and the best on record during a height of a pandemic. So Bank of Canada's lowered neutral rate means the next recession won't be so kind. Recently, the Bank of Canada lowered its neutral rate. The neutral rate level is where it no longer provides stimulus, but inflation is at a stable rate. The new target is believed to be 1.75%, meaning the National Bank forecast will hit it soon. The lower neutral rate is something even the central bank had to express concerns about. Again, we built this Frankenstein monster, right? Neutral interest rates are like to be lowered than the past, which means that central banks will have less room to lower their policy interest rates in the face of large adverse shocks to the economy, said both the Government of Canada and the Bank of Canada joint statement. Canada ignored its addiction to low interest rates, high debt loads before 2020. While times were good, they leaned on household debt growth to pad performance. Now that the neutral rate will be hit fairly quickly, economic growth may mature fast. It's not hard to see why the OECD has forecast Canada will see a low per capita GDP growth for the next 40 years. Because it's been hinged on housing, the fire sector, the real estate sector, the insurance sector. Canada's economy is built off exporting condos to China over the years. And I don't mean building the condos and then breaking them up and shipping them to China, selling to foreign investors. Canada gave up on its local citizens in 2010. Canada realized that there's a potential bringing in more Chinese. That's the article I keep reading from you guys from the CBC. Canada wants more Chinese, 500,000 per year. But you're going to look at Stats Canada Immigration Services and say, that's wrong. That doesn't add up to what they were saying back in 2016. 500,000 per year. They don't count under immigration. They're counted as foreign, international investors in Canada. So the whole entrance into citizenship is on fast track. It's completely different. If you look at Canada immigration stats, you'll see Philippines, other countries. Why aren't you seeing China? They don't belong in that realm because they are considered investors, not immigrants. They're coming in to invest, to buy us out. They bought our biggest coal mine, no Canadian hires. They bought 2 of our gold mines, and I said coal mine earlier, not gold, coal. 2 gold mines, and now they want to get into our hydroelectric. They want to get into our cell phone companies. They want to own it all. They've been doing it in Central and South America, and they've been raping Africa. And this all correlates to the housing market and them now having to raise interest rates, and the Canadian proper is in trouble. Back in 2019, before this mystery virus or sickness hit the streets, this mystery virus came at a great time because homeowners in Australia, were having to go to food banks. Homeowners were having to go to food banks to get food because they couldn't afford to pay their mortgages. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Interest rates going up. It's just the beginning, and it's going to get a lot worse. The Canadian proper that use their home as an ATM machine are hooped. The Canadian proper that competed with the foreign investor or your bank, gave you a pass and got you this mortgage to help you out, you're in trouble. If you bought in the last 8 years, and if you put 50% down, you should be okay. But if you bought in the last 8 years and you've been using the equity on your home, I wish you good luck. I've been warning you for years, and I've made thousands of videos on this channel, you could see it, that prove it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Sayonara, Canada. Mike Martins here. I have spoken.